All right, so after reading all the comments and everything on the first video about the Steelers-Bengals game, which I'll put in the comment section below on this video, I got to take back something I said. I said I was iffy on the perfect penalty. In hindsight and having a chance to rethink it, I was totally wrong there. But here's where I was coming from. Having watched that game where Ryan Shazier's hit was not called a penalty, that's shocking to me. So how that play's not a penalty, yet everyone insists that the perfect penalty must be called at the end of the game with the game on the line, I guess that's where I was coming from. You're correct. Burfict's play was definitely a penalty. That's defenseless receiver. That's why the league implemented the rule. But let's go back to Shazier and look at the hypocrisy in these calls. The league does have a rule about leading with the crown of your helmet, whether you're a defenseless receiver or a runner. The ball carrier nor the tackler can lead with the crown of their helmet. Shazier comes up on Bernard, who had become a runner at that point, but he's turning, he doesn't even see him. Shazier, with the crown of his helmet, leads to the head, face, and neck area of Gio Bernard. And if you think I'm crazy and you think that didn't happen, go back and watch the video. Bernard was instantly knocked unconscious, did suffer a concussion, and there's no call on that play, which, by the way, also results in a fumble and a turnover that kills the Cincinnati drive. My frustration on 6 of one, half dozen of the other was because of the fact that that other call wasn't made earlier in the game. So you're not going to call that a penalty, but this other one has to be. I guess really that's where I was coming from. Both plays should be called penalties. I'm shocked the league has not said anything or done anything about the Ryan Shazier play. Led with the crown of his helmet to the head, face, and neck, instantly knocked the guy out. Go watch the video. I'll put the link to that hit in the comment section below. He's unconscious before he hits the ground. You see his arms and legs go limp. Totally unconscious. I just don't understand how that's not a penalty. He led with the crown, which is a rule. And I understand if the refs don't want to call leading with the crown, if you're going in at a guy's waist, stomach, chest, like it might be kind of human nature that you'd kind of go with your head or duck your head or something, right? He led clearly to the guy's head. These rules are in place to protect players, specifically severe brain injuries. That's what we keep hearing about. That's what this new concussion movie's about, brain injuries. Led with the crown to the guy's head, neck, face mask, knocked him out instantly. That's not a penalty? And they go and review it. I know you really can't review penalties. They couldn't come out, 5 minutes later and throw a flag on it. But it just looks terrible. They go and review it, and then they say, oh, by the way, that's a fumble and a turnover. Pittsburgh now gets the ball on what was blatantly an illegal hit. And the league has said nothing about this. They have not issued a fine to Shazier. Gio Bernard was knocked unconscious instantly. The Burfict, as I said, I was wrong. I was coming from the standpoint of how is one a penalty and the other's not. The truth of the matter is they're both penalties. And just to clarify one thing on Joey Porter, he shouldn't be out there. He should not be out on the field. If someone could explain to me why a former player who's now a coach, what he can offer when a guy's on the ground with a concussion, does he have some medical expertise that he's going to bring into play? If the injury was that bad, Joey Porter was not there to carry someone off the field. You see this all the time when a guy gets a head or neck injury. They bring a cart out. They put a neck brace on him. None of that happened. Joey Porter being on the field prompted the second penalty. And I'm not defending Adam Jones. Adam Jones is an idiot. Go watch his video where he's cussing out the refs. He's swearing all over the place. He should have kept his cool. It cost his team the game. But I just wish the refs would have called it consistently on the head hits throughout the game. And secondly, cooler heads need to prevail there. Not only for Adam Jones, but the refs need to take into account what's going on the field. There's a guy on the field who doesn't belong there and who's arguing with other players, and it leads to a penalty. That's a horrible way for a good NFL playoff game to end. 30 yards worth of penalties on one play, setting up a chip shot field goal that decides the game in the closing seconds. You can't convince me that's a good thing for football.